And welcome to 520 Sports Talk. Bill McCullough, Sean Scott here at Bianchi's in Marana. Good to be back up here on the northwest side. It's a lot less drive for me, just up the street. So tonight we have the second part of our BMX show this week. The first one was the other night at Wings Over Broadway, where we had the Tucson BMX Park show. That was a nice show. It was crazy. A lot of people showed up. Once again, a lot of people have shown up here. Pearson, if you want to pan the crowd just to kind of show, because we do have people that want, businesses that want to sponsor shows, and this is the kind of turnout you can expect. So it's going to be good for your business. Obviously, it's good for us, and it's good to promote sports, especially like X Games type sports, and sports that a lot of the athletes and teams don't get coverage by the mainstream media.
Right, and a lot of sports here in Tucson that are not mainstream sports. They're not football, basketball, baseball. They don't get any coverage whatsoever, even by local media. So it's really important to highlight a lot of the local sports, the local sports community. Tucson is like the biggest small town ever. And
in the world.
Yeah, and it's like Reno, the biggest little city in the world. And it's one of those things where you want to keep it family-like, and you want to support everything local. That's the main focus of 520 Sports Talk. So it's great to have this type of family atmosphere here. I mean, we've been here for an hour hanging out, and everyone just knows each other. It's super friendly. It's a good time. So, yeah, we just thank you all for joining us. It's a good opportunity.
And us being Southern Californians and the surfing, it goes along with the extreme type sports and stuff. So we're glad to have you. Let's jump into some sponsors real quick, because obviously we got to pay the bills here. Dynamic Comfort Air Conditioning and Heating, where your comfort is our only concern. Give them a buzz at 520-323-0008. And it's a hot one already, so you definitely don't want your air conditioner breaking down in this point of the year.
I don't think we're going to see 90s until September anymore. So
exactly.
It's a real shame.
Exactly. Sparkle Cleaners with 11 convenient locations around the Tucson metro area, now offering home and business pickup of your laundry and dry cleaning. So you guys, after a race where your uniforms are all sweaty and dirty, I'm like, you don't even have to put your key in the car. Sparkle Cleaners will come to your house, come to your office, pick it up, professionally clean it, drop it right back off. Go to sparklecleaners.com to set up an appointment. Frog and Firkin, located in the middle of University Main Gate Square. It was voted the best pizza, the best outside dining, and the best family-owned restaurant in Tucson by the Arizona Daily Star. Sports on TV all day, all week, all night. Every time they're open, their doors are open, there's sports on. Something's always happening at the Frog. Wings Over Broadway, the best wings in Tucson to stay crisp from start to finish. We just had our show with the Tucson BMX crowd over there on Tuesday night. Great burgers and pizzas and sports once again all day long. And we are at Bianchi's in Marana. They have another location, actually the original location over by Pima West Campus at Speedway in Silverbell. Been in business since 1977. Vince's parents started. He's taken over. Obviously, they're doing something right because it's 2019.
You had mentioned that Frog was voted best pizza, and I just had an amazing pepperoni pizza.
It was close. The voting was close.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, I like a good chicken tortilla pizza as much as the next guy over at Frog and Firkin, but sometimes when you want like a good pepperoni pizza, you come up here.
That's right.
And I'm going to go ahead and vote. What's that? Right. And it's one of those things where, Bianchi. I mean, it's Italian. Frog and Firkin. It seems like a real, British style. It's more pub fare and everything like that. Right. So, I want to give the accolades where they're due, and the pizza here was really good. I know you got the thin crust.
I did. I'm not a bread guy.
Yeah. I need my carbs. Because no one said that ever.
That's
no
right.
one needs carbs, except for Michael Phelps, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah, he needs carbs. But again, welcome. So I'm not here that much anymore. I'm really enjoying co-hosting, and so I'm glad to be back. And
it's nice to have a co-host because it's a lot harder to do a show by yourself.
Yeah, and I wanted to do this specifically because I grew up in the BMX world in Southern California. So I grew up, and I didn't really do much after I was about 13. But I grew up. I'm gonna show a little bit of age.
It happens.
I know, but I grew up. The movie Rad was that was a thing for me, and I think I was probably 10 to 12 when that movie came out, and it made a really big impression. So I went out, earned some money, bought my first little Mongoose BMX bike, and that was it. I was
Probably
pretty
most
excited.
of the racers may not have been born then.
I know, but it's one of those things where it makes an impression on you, and that's why I was like, oh wait, so BMX is going to be on the show, so you're kicking whoever it is co-hosting. They're
You're
done.
out.
I'm here. So thank you very much. We'll get to the other sponsors later. But you still have time. The show's usually runs about an hour 15, sometimes an hour and a half if we're having a lot of fun.
An hour and a half tonight. We got a lot of kids. If you made the effort to come out to Bianchi's, we definitely want to get you on camera. So.
Yeah, and we have all levels of racers here. We're going to get to everyone. It's going to be a really great time. Thank you so much. If you are on the northwest side and you want to come up and join in, and we have an amazing crowd. I mean, the BMX family up here has brought 50 or more people here, so it's a great crowd. Also, on a side note, if you want to take painting lessons, apparently that's also going on outside. So join us up here at Bianchi's.
Painting and pizza, you can't beat it.
I know, and apparently this was I don't know if this is true, but there's some paintings behind us, Pearson. If you want to pan towards those, if you take a painting class, maybe they'll even feature you on the wall. So I know it has nothing to do with BMX, but I'm just going to let you know that, if you come up here and partake in the BMX show, have some pizza and paint.
BMX or painting, you
have no choice. I was going to
choice.
say, you're going to be indoctrinated. So welcome again. Let's introduce our guests here. In fact, we're going to let them introduce themselves, right?
Exactly. We'll start with you. Yeah. Introduce yourself. Just tell us what your role is within the organization and maybe something a little bit about yourself personally.
My name is Dee Patterson. I have 3 boys. They all race. Their ages are 9, 11, and 14, and we have made BMX kind of our family by traveling and making all of these people our family over the last 5 years.
That's terrific.
My name's Krista Luna. I'm here tonight as a parent, as well as I guess the BMX, how to get started in BMX question guy, or anything to do
Perfect. So you're
BMX in general, anything you need to know about BMX.
We're going to attack you here in just a minute once we're done with the introduction.
Yeah, I welcome it. Okay. So anyway, anything from there.
Great, thank you.
I'm Delaney Vaughn. I'm a 17-year-old BMX racer, and I'm also the kid of the track operators.
All right. The kid of the track operator.
There you go. You got your own. Perfect.
Corbin Shara, elite BMX racer here in Tucson. Grew up racing here and been racing for the last 20 years.
And if you don't know who Corbin is, he is an Olympian for Team USA in the last Olympic Games, right?
Yeah.
In Rio? In 2012?
2012, okay.
All right.
Was that the first games for BMX?
No, 2008.
2008, okay.
Okay. So, obviously, we're amongst BMX royalty here.
Now, let me ask you just really quickly before you introduce yourself. Aside from softball, and I know we've had softball Olympians, have we had any other Olympians on 520?
I don't believe so.
You're an elite company, Elite BMX,
right.
And an Olympian, so that's
right.
a big deal. It's a big deal.
It is. And it's a big deal for our show too, because it, we gives us a lot more legitimacy and once again, let me go ahead and introduce yourself, and then I'll interject.
Go ahead, you're on one.
Just to let you guys know, this was a very big week for our operation. We turned 3 years old in June. Sean and I developed this. It started out as kind of an idea that turned into a project that turned into a full-time job now for me. So the evolution over the last 3 years has been terrific. We've gone from having, 5 people at our first show and maybe 100 views to now we get well over 1,000 views, sometimes 2,000, 3,000 views every single show. We started on Monday night. I was up in Chandler, and we started our 6:02 Sports Talk show up in the Valley of the Sun. So we're real happy about going up to Phoenix. Phoenix people apparently watched Tucson, and they were bugging me for months and months, hey, we want our own show. Can we get it? So it's not something that you develop overnight, and it takes a little while, but we're really, really happy to be up in the Phoenix area to spread our brand of obscure sports.
Right. Yeah, I think we're not quite ESPN the Ocho, but we're really close.
The Ocho.
I think you gave us a little bit too much credit with 5 people at our first show, because I think that's including the employees at the restaurant also, and then the 2 of us, and Andy, the former producer. So, but it's been a labor of love for this. We're excited, and I know you've been waiting to grab that microphone for a long time. So please introduce yourself.
That's right.
So
you got to save the best for last, right?
Yeah, right. So my name is Will Bissell. I'm out of Tucson, Arizona. I've been racing BMX for 30-some years. I do coaching out the track, and I also do some camps at the local skate park. So I'm more of like an all-around rider. I
cool.
ride ramps and also still race.
Freestyle, and
freestyle.
okay.
Just kind of a general bicycle enthusiast.
I was a huge freestyler. That's like what I grew up doing because there was not a whole lot of dirt in Southern California and in just in the Orange County area. So there's a lot of freestyle. So that's kind of what I grew up doing. But I still love that. So anytime I see it on,
it's like a labor of love, man. It's a lot of work. You build up the dirt jumps.
It's a lot of work, and it's
I kind of have a fun question for you. Do you have like a really good friend that's an orthopedic surgeon or something, just in case you fall off?
No, I mean at this
doesn't
point
happen.
in my life, it's management. Like I'm doing probably some of the best riding I've been doing in my life right now because I've kind of changed up a lot of things. But it's management, man. You're thinking about whoa. Reel it in, man. You got to go to work,
Yeah, pump
but
the brakes.
at the same time, I'm still getting great laps and good riding. So
Right on.
All right, so we're going to start at the beginning because you had said when people want to start getting into BMX, you're the guy to talk to.
Right. So basically, to start off with, anyone can get involved in BMX. The classes started out at 2 and under on what we call balance bikes, and they go all the way to 61 and over. Our oldest rider, I believe now, would be a lady out of Iowa, and I believe she'll turn 73 this year.
We heard about her on the
Miss
last
Kitty.
show,
Yeah. She's an awesome lady. But anyone can do the sport of BMX, and what's cool about BMX is it's not like a team sport where you may not get picked or you may not be able to ride. Everyone rides. No one rides the bench. It's a family sport. You'll see a lot of times where it's not only little Johnny's riding, but his older brother's riding, and all the way to mom's riding, dad's riding. The whole family is doing this, and it's kind of cool when you see them all in their uniforms and everything. It's just a whole family thing. In order to get started, your first thing you can do is you can go to your local track.
Okay.
You can go to Sports Park BMX here in Tucson, and you can actually do a one-day membership just to see if you're going to like it. We know you will like it, and you'll end up getting that full membership from there.
Sure.
Once you get that full membership, that gives you the ability to race not only in Tucson, but anywhere. There's 3 tracks in Phoenix, or there's actually 1 in Chandler, 1 in Goodyear, and 1 in Phoenix is what you have there, or any track across the nation. There's roughly about 310 tracks all across the U.S. and Canada that membership's good for.
Oh, so okay, so it's not a one. It's not a regional thing. Okay.
No, it's nationwide, and like I said, it's Canada as well. And once you get the full membership, you're good at any of those tracks to go race. And
Now,
there's about 70,000 members across the country.
in Canada, are there ice tires?
It's kind of funny. They have a lot shorter season than we do down here, obviously, in Canada. They usually kick off in about May, and and
then it ends in June, right? when the first snow falls in early July, right?
obviously.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I imagine Vancouver to be a pretty nice place to do that.
Vancouver's a great place to do BMX.
Yeah.
It's definitely nice there. The weather's nice all year round. The island over in Victoria and Nanaimo, all great places.
Corbin, I have a question for you. Obviously, very, very popular nationally, but to be an Olympic sport, obviously the whole world has to compete. How many countries send BMX athletes to the Olympics?
I'm not exactly sure how many countries, but it's pretty diverse. I mean, the Olympics is all about, it's a world movement. It's not just the countries that are biggest in that sport. It's like you have any kind of third world country, anybody competing in the sport of BMX or any sport, and their whole goal is to get as many countries or as many continents as possible to compete at the Olympic Games. So I mean, that's their movement's goal. So I mean, there's pretty much any country you could think of that's competing in BMX.
On the Olympic level,
it's crazy.
Do you get, I don't know what the rules are in terms of competing in the Olympics in certain sports, but you see a lot of people in other sports, they were born and raised in the United States, but they're, their heritage is based out of France, and so they're going to go, they can qualify for the French Olympic team while they couldn't qualify for the U.S. Olympic team. So did you race against people that you normally raced against here in the United States, but they're racing for Iceland in the Olympic Games because of how they could qualify?
Oh yeah, of course. It's funny you bring that up because there's been a couple good friends or people that I know in the sport that have done that exact same thing. It's like they have a dual
almost like citizenship, yeah.
And they'll go to the other country because it's so hard here in the States to qualify, that they'll qualify that route and go that route and be able to compete that way.
So I guess 2024 I'm going to try and compete for Kazakhstan.
There you go.
Because I figure the contingent's not that big.
That's right.
Because you have to be able to spell the name of the country.
That's right.
And I think I'm going to get there by the time 2024 hits.
There we go.
All right.
So, staying with the Olympics, is the U.S. always the team to beat? I mean, is it, it's like, the basketball team, the dream team or whatever you want. I mean, are the best riders generally Americans?
That's a good question. I mean, it's really
They pay us
evolved.
the big money.
It's really evolved the last, I would say, 5 years. That definitely when it started in '08, because it was based here in the States, started in Southern California, and I mean, we were the team to beat, I think, those few years. But as far as the last, I think, 5 years, a lot of countries have gotten really good. I know the Netherlands, France, Australia, they have really strong contingent. And no, there's definitely strong competition. And I wouldn't necessarily say that U.S. is the best as of right now, but definitely still the place to be. The U.S. is the place to be to ride. It started here. Everything originated here in the States, and still have an awesome contingent and a great team. So we're still one of the world's best, but I wouldn't really say that it's like the U.S. basketball team where it's like these guys are just going to be unbeatable. There's so many other countries that have came up that it's really
Everybody else has
playing
brought
field.
their game up to the level of the Americans then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when you think quality athletes, you think Netherlands speed skating and Netherlands BMX.
There you go.
I mean, that's just what you think about when you think of the Netherlands. It's kind of like funny shoes and BMX.
Corbin will probably agree with this. It's kind of like we could say we win everything, even when the USA people don't win.
Right.
Because most of your top guys now are a lot of them living in Southern California anyway.
Right.
So they're local here anyway to us, and you see them on a weekly basis on the USA BMX National Series and different kind of events. So it's like we kind of like to say even when one of our guys doesn't win, we still might have won.
Okay.
So you had mentioned getting in even at a young age on balance bikes, and the balance bikes, correct me if I'm wrong, basically there's no pedals for the younger kids. They're basically pushing themselves to their feet. If someone were getting into it seriously, take away the membership cost, what sort of initial cost can a parent expect to get their kids started up and get into, maybe not into serious racing yet, but really getting into it, and the equipment that they're going to need and everything, like, because that's it's one of those things people are going to be watching. They're going to say, okay, well, that's really cool. What am I looking at?
That's what's mind blowing is the fact that you can come out there with any kind of bike. People come out to the track and they see other people on high dollar equipment, and that's not needed when you're first coming out as a beginner or what we call a novice. They can come out on their Walmart bike. Maybe it has a kickstand on it. Maybe it has reflectors on it. There's going to be people there at the track that can remove those because those are a safety issue.
Sure.
And do it just from there. Once they get in there, get their feet wet, you can find a used bike on the fence at any local track for let's say 200, 250. Around that range, something to get them started at. It's not necessary. Same thing with all the racing gear and everything that goes with that. None of that's necessary in the beginning. You can come out with blue jeans, long sleeve shirt, and just get after it. It's just something that you can come out and you can start off at the bottom with bottom level stuff. And if you're really, really into it, then you can grow it from there, and it can go as far as you want it to from there.
Now, what I want to ask you as a parent is, you just don't wake up one morning like, hey, I want to be a BMX family. I mean, what caused you to, what was your migration from maybe, your kids were in other sports or you were in other sports? Tell us about that.
We started off in baseball, and I had two of my young boys, and it was draining. We were at the baseball field 4 or 5 days a week between practice and their games. And it got to be too much.
Sure.
So my husband decided, hey, the kids like to ride their bikes. Let's look at BMX. We all went out as a family. We all spent time together. We did the event together, and we left together. There was no separating of my husband driving one kid to a practice while I had to go watch a game. It was a family thing we did together. And it just kind of evolved over the years. Like Chris said, you don't have to be that serious. If you just want to do it on a local level, you can go to the local tracks. You can drive up to Phoenix. You can compete at a state level, and then you can build from there based on the kid's skill. So that's kind of how we have evolved over the years. And, my kids haven't done any other sports since because you just kind of get hooked.
I think we learned that, at least I did on the show earlier this week with the Tucson Park, is it's a family thing through and through. Like you said, you're not split up in two cars going to two different games. Everybody's at the same track. And I like baseball, but let's face it, baseball 9 innings, and if you're tied, you're like, oh my God, you're there for 6 hours on one game.
Please win it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Please, But that's, and this kind of goes along. I was speaking to some of the people, the adults, before the show. It seems like any kind of racing, whether it's the Tucson Speedway, NASCAR people that we have on the show, the dirt track people up in Casa Grande, BMX, everything's a family thing. It's like, somebody needs something for their bike, somebody else has it. It's like, hey, let me help you out. It's not, there's no animosity. There's, it's just kind of, like you said, it's an individual thing, but collectively it's a team thing, family to family to family.
Well, unless they're racing against each other, then they're not letting anyone anything.
On that same note, though, some of my kids' best friends are their BMX competitors.
Sure.
Who do we invite to birthday parties? Who do we hang out with? It's the people that they race with on the track.
Yeah.
And that's not just at a local level, it's a nationwide level. When we travel, it's a kid that you could have saw at the last national in Nashville, and they just pick up like they were just playing last weekend together. So, and then they'll go and race it out on the track and rubbing elbows and having a good time.
I imagine unless there's some foul play out on the track, it's everyone kind of respects the other person and everything. I mean there's certain things. I'm sure there's quote unquote dirty players in every sport and everything like that, and you can't avoid that. Some people kind of have that in them, some don't, and I played hockey growing up, and it was super dirty. So, but at the end, you're just putting in all your effort. You're doing, you're putting in your effort. I know we only have like 2 more minutes with most of the group here. So, Coach, I wanted to ask you. I'm going to call you Coach because you said you're a coach, and hence the name. When you are coaching. Do you coach at all levels? Do you work specifically better in certain arenas of the sport? How do you
certain age groups?
Yeah.
See, this is the great thing we have. Like Chris was talking about. I'm out there a couple times a month, and we do these classes, and we get a lot of beginner kids. But I also have the respect of the older kids, and they'll come out and ride with me because spend some time, But I don't really have a genre of these kids. To me, it's about getting those kids out there and getting them riding.
Right.
And the ones that show the effort, that want to be moving up the ladder, hey, I'll help you get there. Or hey, you want to get in freestyle? Hey, we can do that. But it's really, the options are there. The kids are all good. And I enjoy working with any of them. I love BMX.
It's in your blood.
Yeah.
So, real quick before we get the kids up here, from what I learned the other night with the other track, it's a fast race. Like you said, baseball, it's a 9-inning game. Football's 60 minutes. How fast is a race? How long does it take?
Depending on the track, I would say anywhere from 30 seconds to 45 seconds.
See, that's so cool.
we talking Corbin or Delaney or like one of us?
Yeah. Well, just like give me a break it down. Just like the little kids, that use pedals. How long is their race compared to maybe Delaney and then Corbin, that type of thing?
Corbin, what would you say the track is here? Like probably for the smaller ones, maybe a 45 second lap? 45 second lap.
Okay.
And then like a Corbin lap would be, what do you do here? 30, 35, so?
No, but the whole race is one lap, or I'm not.
For the whole thing each night, you're looking at a couple hours. By the time you come up there for practice.
But like one race is how many laps?
Correct. You're in and out in 2.5 hours, right?
Just one lap.
Just one lap. Okay. So we're gonna get into this with other racers here.
Sure.
Okay. I'll shift. I wasn't here for a second, so I'm going to just shut my mouth now. No.
It's all you, brother.
No, I know that. We're running, and we've had a lot of good time with this group. I know that right now we're going to keep Corbin and Delaney sitting right here.
Yes.
Maybe Delaney can talk about the track and located everything too in the schedule.
Right, and we're going to get to that for sure.
Perfect. So thank you to the three of you for joining. Corbin and Delaney, you stay here.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, so
Great.
you guys
Thank you
stay here. The other kids, we're gonna hold them off for just a second.
Yes.
Okay. So we're really honored to have you guys. I know I said that in the pre-show instructions and whatnot, and I'm telling our viewers right now, this is a sport that is very popular. I had no clue how popular it was until 55, 60 people showed up at Wings Over Broadway the other night. It was like, oh my God, this is more people than football teams get, than basketball, than softball get, you know. And it's just, it really surprised me. I was very impressed. I was very impressed with the maturity of the athletes. I mean, we had a 3-year-old on, and I mean, it was great. It was a little hard asking questions, but it was great. He had a good time. The fact is that it's popular and anybody can do it. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a big kid, a small kid, anybody. You know, it's a sport for everyone. You can't say that about other sports. You know? I mean, in football, you either have to be big or fast. In basketball, you have to be tall.
Unless you're a kicker.
Exactly.
You don't have to be big or fast when you're a kicker.
But, you know, this sport scene, I mean, you could be a big kid, a small kid, or whatever, and it's just, it works. And at the end of the day, this sport is just like any other sport. It's all about having fun.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
If you're not having fun, don't do it.
Exactly.
Unless you're at work.
So that
and sometimes you got to pay some bills.
That being said, we have a special announcement to make, and this is going to be on an exclusive 520 Sports Talk announcement. This is huge. This is huge because this has a lot of ramifications here. And I'm just going to turn it over to Corbin and let you do your thing.
Corbin, do your thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would like to welcome Delaney Vaughn to the 2019 Zolder Worlds team for junior women.
Is that cool or what? So how cool is that?
That's a big deal. Corbin, talk about the significance of what that means for Delaney.
It's awesome. I mean, it's a chance to compete on the world stage. There's only 4 girls in junior that are going to go. So, I mean, that's 4 women.
Nationwide?
Nation, yes.
Oh, nice.
And it's great. Yeah, she has a chance to go compete in Europe and get on the world stage and win a world title, and it's huge.
Wow.
Now, will she be eligible for the Olympics, or maybe not this one, but the next one? Or I mean, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, she'll be eligible for.
There you go. Well, if you come this far, we know you're a hard worker.
Right.
So
that's really big news. We don't usually
news.
We usually don't get to it's like I feel like we should have like a breaking news at the bottom of our screen
ticker
right here.
Yeah, you didn't see it on KOLD or KVOA or any of the other sports websites.
I feel like that announcement requires more emojis flashing across the screen.
Viewers about how to do that.
You know, we have it's. I mean, in the business we call it a monitor, and we can see the comments sometimes that are coming across the screen. Yeah, see, there they are. So we see that the comments are coming across the screen. We can see the emojis that you type in there. So please feel free to interact with us. Producer Pearson can, you know, if he sees a really good question that we should be asking, he can relay it to us. We'll sometimes
you want to make
be able to see it here.
Say hi to your kid or grandparents, aunts, uncles, people in other parts of the nation. If you're watching this the show here in Marana, you know, feel free to make a comment. Hey, I'm watching you from Grand Rapids, Michigan, or something like that. So the reason we use the Facebook platform is because of the fact a lot of people in southern Arizona are not originally from here. Sean and I are perfect examples. And, you know, we have friends and family back in wherever USA. So if you're watching it outside of Tucson, whether it's within Arizona or outside Arizona, feel free to make a comment, send an emoji, ask a question. We want this to be an interactive show, not only with the people here at Bianchi's, but also our viewers.
There's probably definitely a couple people from wherever USA that are watching right now.
I've got a T-shirt from there.
From wherever. There's like Y Arizona.
That's right.
Wherever USA. So I don't know. I mean, are we? I
want to ask you your thoughts. I mean, I was told that you didn't know this.
Yeah, no, I do now.
Yes. There's your mic drop moment for the show.
Just tell us what that means. Tell us. You know, I'm sure you can't be real shocked. You know how good you are, but to actually hear it, especially from Corbin,
right.
It's got to be a treat.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm excited. Never really been out of the country or even been to a Worlds before, so definitely going to be fun, good experience. I'm excited.
How did you get so good? Other than a lot of hard work, but I mean, people in any sport, some people are just naturals. You know, LeBron James, Michael Jordan in basketball, Tom Brady in football. I mean, some people are just naturals. How did you get so good?
Well, I mean, I have Tucson backing me, and they always support me really well. And I just ride all the time. Like, really all you can do is just ride. And I have my parents that run the track, so it's a big help. I have Corbin always helping me out and all that stuff. So just have a good support system, have fun with it, ride all the time, and just if you want it, you can work hard for it.
So on the cool meter, this has got to be like 10 or above, right?
We're breaking out the cool meter for this show? You didn't tell me about this. I didn't
off,
know there was a
but
cool
we got
meter.
these to you.
It's brought back
Well,
out for the show.
congratulations, not only from 520 Sports Talk Bar, but from the Tucson area. And, we know you're going to represent not only Tucson, but the United States very, very well.
Thank you.
So being part of the world's team, does that automatically qualify you for certain events outside of the country? How does that work?
Not necessarily. Really, there's two big events that you have to actually qualify for, and that is the World Championships and also, of course, the Olympic Games. So yeah, there's really only two events. You can usually just sign up through your country to race the World Cups and kind of go outside of the country to do those kind of things to qualify for the Worlds or the Olympic Games. And yeah, so it's huge for her to be selected for the World's team.
And is there a point system involved in qualifying for some of the bigger you race, and you depending on how you place in the events,
Yeah.
you can kind of work your way into it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you this. When you're saying World Cup, I'm thinking, is that
Soccer?
something that happens? Well, that's what I was getting at. Is that something that happens like Olympics or World Cup soccer every 4 years?
No, it's but it's the biggest circuit in BMX as far as worldwide goes, and I think there's 5 weekends, and there's one stop in all different countries. We have one back here in Rock Hill in the U.S. again. And then there's Manchester, the Netherlands, Argentina, Paris, and then the last one would be here in the States. So there's only 5 weekends of those World Cups, and those big events is really what qualifies you and sets your name up there to qualify for the Olympic Games or the World Championships.
All right, Sean, why don't we ask this young man about his hardware that we're seeing? And
I didn't notice.
Pearson, Pearson, you can move the camera up and down to check it out. That's probably one of the tallest trophies I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it was from the greatest race on earth. I'm sad I missed it because it only happens once every so often. So, yes, tell us about that.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's from the USA BMX Grand Nationals, and that's the biggest race here in the United States that you can go to.
So you get the biggest trophy.
Yes. Seriously, for on the amateur level or on the pro level, that's the race to go to. If you win that race on any stage, no matter if you're professional or on amateur, you're one of the best riders in the nation, in the country. Everybody from around the world comes to that race, and it's really significant. And if you can get that trophy right there, you definitely are.
Now, where is that race held?
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay.
Over Thanksgiving weekend.
Over Thanksgiving, so it's not really super convenient either.
So no
they
turkey
really make you
until
work
the
for
race
it.
is
Yeah.
done, right? All right.
No.
So talk about this. We have a Happy Gilmore size check right here. So what? So I see you haven't cashed it yet. I'm a little concerned about that. I don't know how old it is, but no, it was just last week. All right. So you got some time then. Okay, I know these things usually only last 90 days, otherwise they revoke it. So I'm just tell us about this event here.
It was the Great Salt Lake Nationals in South Jordan, Utah, just last weekend, and it was one of the races here on the USA BMX circuit that I don't know how many of them they have a month. Chris, do you know how many they have a month? But
what's the question? Pro races. There's 12, I believe.
So 12.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 pro
yeah,
races.
that was from one of 12 stops that we'll have besides the Grand Nationals.
So were any of those trophies from the event as well? The smaller trophies?
No,
not the big
those
ones.
are on the local level
Okay.
trophies.
So, if you come to the track and you place first, second, or third, each night you'll get a trophy.
Sweet.
So,
Okay.
All right. I had kind of a funny thing about the Great Salt Lake. I was in Salt Lake City last year, and I flew in. I'd never been to Utah. I'd never been to Salt Lake City. And I asked one of the locals, I said, is the Salt Lake a big deal? Is it something that I need to go see as a first-time person in
guessing
Utah?
no.
Well, no. I said, it's a Salt Lake. And he goes, the Great Salt Lake? I'm like,
Oh boy.
is there another one that's like the Lesser Salt Lake? So, but apparently that's the name they call it, the Great Salt Lake.
So why don't they change the city name to Great Salt Lake
I
City?
have no idea.
The great.
But anyways, I want to make an announcement. We already had the big announcement. This definitely pales in comparison, but I know your mom will be happy about this, is with this big a turnout and the excitement and the support that you have in BMX racing, 520 Sports Talk is going to dedicate one show per month to BMX racing up here at Sports Park. We're going to have that at the High Five Sports Grill on the northeast corner of Orange Grove and Thornydale, where the Sam Levitz is. And it used to be called, what was it? The Stadium Grill, but now it's different owners. It's called High Five, like you give a high five, Sports Grill. So congratulations, Sports Park BMX. We're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to Sean knows a little more than I do, and I'll probably have Sean do the shows with me so I don't look silly. But you're going to teach me a lot just with this turnout here. Having met everybody, I've known a few people. I know Stormy and some other people, but it's going to be great. We're going to dedicate this because of the fact that we have that much faith in this sport, and we definitely want to put this on the front page. The days of the BMX racing not getting any coverage over, right? Because you're going to be on 520 Sports Talk, and we get thousands of viewers every show.
So I do have one more question. Okay, two more questions.
Sure.
And I know that we're running super late right now, but
should we ask them a funny question?
Yeah, that was the second one.
Oh, okay.
Can I say where the track's at and everything real quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we're located at I-10 INA 6901 North Casa Grande Highway. And every Wednesday and Saturday we race. Sign-ups are from 6 to 7. So you come out from 6 to 7, you can practice, sign up, do all that good stuff. And then racing starts around like 7:15. So you feel free to come out whenever. First race
and
is
the
free.
INA Bridge is open now, so there's no excuse for you not coming out.
Now, is the BMX track where the cars used to race?
Like the go-karts?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like in the same parking
Where the
lot as
water
the
slide
softball.
used to be?
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Like
Was that Justin's Water World?
No, they had that single water slide. Yeah. But, you can actually see it from the freeway.
Yeah, you can.
Can't get lost.
You can. It's
can,
possible.
It's on the
but
west
you
side
won't.
frontage road. You
Right.
can just go over the INA Bridge and go to the west side frontage road. Just don't merge onto the freeway, and you're right there.
Right.
Very, very convenient location, especially for us people that live in Marana.
Right. So the one question that is not the quote unquote humorous question would be, what makes a track more difficult or easier than other tracks? How do the tracks differ?
The way they're going to differ is there's so many different kind of options on how you can build the track or how they're going to differ. A lot of it really is starting hill height, how tall the starting hill is, because that's going to determine how fast you're going to go to hit the first jump, and really how fast you're going to go around most of the track. So that's going to differ of what it is, and then also just the shape and the size of the obstacles that are on the track, the corners, and really how steep the jumps are, how steep the face of it is, how steep the backside is, or the back of the jump where you come rolling over. And just how steep those things are will determine how hard the track is or how different things ride, and makes things quicker and a little harder to be able to get over the obstacles.
So on a 36 to 50 second lap track right here that you have at Sports Park, how would you rate the difficulty on a scale of 1 to 10 for how difficult this track is?
It seriously all depends on your level of riding.
If
you were to come out and ride, the difficulty is I would say, be a 1, because you're going to go out there and you're going to be going slow and just pedaling around the track.
Right.
Anybody could make it around the track.
Right.
Like Chris said, whether you're 2 or whether you're 61, you could go out there and make it around the track. But for me,
I think the 2-year-olds and the 61s could probably be.
They race against each other.
Together.
Yeah, they race together. Yeah. Okay. So
you ask one, I'll ask one.
Okay. Well, you go. You can go first.
All right. Being athletes, I know as a football player, we had to carb up, the morning of the game and stuff, because carbs turn into energy, and you want energy. Do you guys do that type of thing? Do you carb up, to give more energy? That's not the funny question. It's going to lead into whichever question I'm going to ask.
Okay.
If it's a yes or a no answer.
No, I think as a kid I did, because I always kind of heard football and other sports like that. Eat a bunch of pasta and stuff before.
Right. Mashed potatoes, pasta.
Yeah, turns out as I've gotten older that's not really the case.
He likes Texas Roadhouse.
Who doesn't?
That's a really popular choice. Every show I've done, it's kind of what's your go-to pregame? Texas Roadhouse. Must be something about that cinnamon butter,
exactly.
On the rolls that it really fuels the competitive juices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, here's your question. I know you guys eat. Give me your 2 favorite places to eat. Doesn't have to be fast food. It can be a restaurant. It can be fast food. It doesn't matter. Even mom's home cooking. I don't care. 2 favorite places to eat. You got to get rid of one the rest of your life.
This isn't real. You don't have to really get rid of it. But if you were to.
And there's no wrong answers, obviously.
No, man.
Here, I got mine.
All right.
I really like Wendy's and Cane's.
Okay, Wendy's and Cane's.
No,
which
one
one's out?
Um,
Beef or chicken?
Square beef or chicken?
I think I'd have to say Cane's just because I can't let Wendy's down.
Okay, all right. Wendy's it is. Corbin.
I would say BK's Mexican food, or
All right. I love that place.
there's a little spot by my house, Chinese GMG.
Oh,
Okay.
GMG is so great.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. We love you as a sponsor. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm not saying. I'll leave it at that. I love GMG. Places. And don't say you're getting rid of GMG. Please don't. Please don't.
I like BK. Come on.
I know.
Yeah, I would say GMG would have to go because every time I come home from traveling, it's straight to BK. So that
hear
one's
you.
got to stay.
All
All right, I can't fault you guys for that. All right, so I okay. So I know you guys didn't know this, but the zombie apocalypse is actually scheduled for August 17th. That being said, you can only have one person, real or imaginary, fighting alongside you in the zombie apocalypse. Who is it and why?
Chuck Norris.
Why?
'Cause
Thank
he's
you.
awesome.
Chuck Norris.
See, that's I don't know if you've ever watched this show, but that's my answer, and so you just earned a lot of cool points for that one.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I would say my wife.
And the popular answer right there.
Pretty tough lady.
Real tough.
Real tough
Real
lady.
tough lady.
All right.
So-
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, just for those of you watching here, you can shout out your answer. I have the correct answer, so I will let you know. How many roundhouse kicks can Chuck Norris do? Anyone? What's that? 81. The answer is correct. All of them.
All of them.
All of them. You can do all of them. Okay. Yes. Congrats. No, that's a round of applause. All right.
Okay, so we're going to do this with the younger riders and the ones that are coming on next, but we don't want to exclude you. Anybody, whether they're here in the room, they're in Tucson, they're anywhere in the United States, here's your chance to say hi and shout out to them.
I mean, just really my family, friends from all around.
All right.
All right.
Most people for me, besides my wife, are here. So
World traveler, and he doesn't shout out to anybody else.
He's like, what up to the Netherlands? So. Well, thank you both for coming on the show.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Very, very nice to.
Thank you very
brother.
much.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Also, we are going to be going to the different parks and sports park. Definitely, we're going to go out on race night. We're going to shoot some video. We're going to put it on the page. We're really, really going to help you guys promote your track, your sport, because of the fact it also lends good things for us as far as the one show a month at the Hi-Fi Grill. So while we're changing up and getting the next group on, let's just continue with the with the sponsor.
And if you've been informed that you're part of the next group, come join us. We have room for 4 over here
and one
over here.
So one of our other show places is Johnny Gibson's Downtown Lounge in conjunction with Highwire Lounge, Downtown Market, excuse me. It's at on 6th Avenue between Broadway and Congress. They have a huge selection of sandwiches, burgers, ready-to-eat foods, along with dozens of beverages. Obviously, it's a grocery store, so there's a ton of beverages, dozens of beverages for adults and kids. It's where our show Under the Stars happens, although in the summer it's just barely dark when we get done with the show.
Right.
But it's a great place for a show. It's an outside show. Check out Johnny Gibson's Downtown Market. They're open till midnight. If you're in the downtown area, you may need a quick thing from the grocery store. You don't want to pay the Circle K prices. Check out Johnny Gibson's Arizona Native Landscaping Design, Installation, and Maintenance. Go to ArizonaNativeLandscaping.com or check them out on their Facebook page at Arizona Native Landscaping. They do your low water landscaping. They also have turf. So if you want the greenness of grass without the hassle of grass, they do the turf option as well.
When I start losing a little more hair, I may go to turf.
Yeah, that would be great. You could be like a chia pet.
Yeah, I know. So I just before we get on to the next sponsors, I know there's a lot of people watching live right now. If you are watching live, I want you to do me a favor, hit the share button right now.
Please.
On your phone, on your tablet, hit the share button if you're watching live right now. We'll know because it'll tell us if you're sharing it. So please do that right now. Hit the like, hit the share button. That way, we want to double the attendance watching the show right now. Right now, it's floating around the 28 to 30. We want to see above 50 live audience members. Yeah, and that's, it'd be really great if we can get that much live attendance right here. Bring a lot of attention to the BMX scene. So, like I said, smash that share button and the like button right now. I know that's usually something you save for YouTube, but please share the live broadcast right now so we can get these youngins over here some attention.
Just doing a little market research during the week. We are the premier sports talk show in Tucson. With over 6,100 followers. Thank you very much, followers. 5,700 plus likes. There's no one that's even close to us. So
yeah, the next closest competitor has about half.
3,300 or something like that.
And you know what? This is what we do. And we just enjoy it and. Often imitated, never duplicated.
That's right. Right.
So we have a new group. There's slightly shorter with the next group, but continue with the sponsors.
All right. Simply Noted. I don't know if you guys watch football. If you've ever heard of Ricky Elmore, he was a stud linebacker at the U of A. He played for the Houston Texans. He has a company called Simply Noted. If you are a business owner and you want to expand your footprint, mixing modern marketing techniques with an old-school personal touch. They actually write handwritten notes and send them to prospective prospective customers of your business. Believe me, a handwritten note still goes a long way in the world of social media. It's a proven fact. Go to simplynoted.com to check it out. Cartwright's Modern Cuisine. I know this is a 602 sponsor, but I love this place. If any of you guys, I know it's kind of neat in Northern Marana because I'm like an hour south of Chandler, but if any of you guys want to take your wife, your girlfriend, whoever, family
your husband,
member,
your boyfriend,
and just have the best
meal
member you've ever had in your life, take a trip up to Cave Creek. It's great. There's a lot of antique shops. There's like biker bars. It's kind of like bikers and antiques going head to head, but
not these bikers.
Not these bikers.
Yeah, not these bikers.
But it's a great place. Cave Creek, Cartwright's Modern Cuisine. I actually had some tuna that 8 hours before I ate it was swimming in Puget Sound, Washington. So
how was that even possible?
He went up there, got it, flew it back, and he was preparing it the same night.
Boy, were his arms tired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Cartwright's Modern Cuisine, you can't beat it. And Arizona Motor Vehicle Express. I actually gave one of my friends a tip today. She just bought a new car. Her temporary plate was about ready to go expired. She didn't want to drive and get a ticket. I said, go to Arizona Motor Vehicle Express on Thornydale, just north of Costco, 6711 North Thornydale. They'll extend your temporary plate by 3 days. You won't have to go to the DMV. You won't have to spend 3 hours, for something that takes 5 minutes to take care of. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, Saturday 9 to 3. Definitely check them out. It's a lot easier to do that. You're in and out in 10 minutes, and your time is valuable, so don't waste it.
Yeah, if you don't do all that stuff online, some things you can do online now, go there. If you appreciate your sanity, go there, because I don't have 2 hours to sit there to do registration type nonsense and everything like that. You're in there, you wait. I think the longest I've waited for something like there since they've been open is about 6 minutes to see someone. Now I know they're getting more popular, but you can relax on a nice little couch until you're ready to go.
Anything the DMV can do, they can do.
Yeah, even driving tests. So, there's going to be some people here probably getting close to 16. So, when you got to get your driver's license, you can go there, that kind of thing. So, Arizona Motor Vehicle Express, totally the way to go.
That's right. What's up, fellas?
Hey, I recognize him. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Make sure these guys
keep them in line. All right.
Oh, okay.
How you guys doing?
Interview coach and BMX
What do you think
coach.
of the show so far?
So remember,
cool, huh? Nobody else is going to have BMX athletes on their show.
Use these things right here.
That's right.
Otherwise, no one can hear you.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, we're going to start down at the end over there. So introduce yourself.
My name is Ryan, and I'm 11 years old.
Where do you go to school, and what got you into BMX?
I go to Oasis, and what got me into BMX is My dad had 2 friends that did BMX, and so I wanted to try it out. So I went, and then I liked it. So I started getting better and better, and then.
Right on, and it's all about having fun, right?
Yeah.
All right.
And how long till you get one of those big trophies?
A year.
A year? You heard it here. He's
heard
calling
it
his
here.
shot.
One
He's
year.
calling his shot right now. Okay. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Joey, and I go to Lehman, and I started because I like riding bikes and going fast, so I just went to the track and started riding.
Riding bikes and going fast, there's not too many things that are more fun than that, right?
Tell me, is that your visor, or did you borrow that?
I got it at Target today.
No, you don't have to laugh. That thing is killer. I love that visor.
All you guys I know want one of those, so don't even try to pretend you don't.
And the thing is that I'm kind of glad you told me where you got it, because now I can go get one, and then I can wear it to work tomorrow.
Might
And
be open after the show's over.
You know what? In fact, if we can find out if you can get New Stitch or whoever does a lot of the 520 apparel to get some 520 branded visors like that,
that would be cool.
That's so highlight of the show. I'm just gonna say thank you.
All right, how are you?
Hi, I'm Reed Parker. I'm 10 years old, racing 10 expert. I got into BMX because my first babysitter was Nikki Shiraw, and Corbin was racing at the time, so I went to the racetrack at one time and saw everybody riding, thought it was cool, and tried it out, and now I'm here.
How old were you?
Told you how cool it was. Right on.
So how old were you when that happened? Little?
Yeah.
Like were you on a balance bike little?
Yeah, I didn't even get to the balance bike. I didn't know it. I didn't know of it until
you were too old for a balance bike?
At least 4.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
all right, Hotshot, it's your turn.
He's got the uniform, so yeah.
I'm Carson, and I'm turning 13 in a month. I go to Tortolita, and I got into racing from this one?
This one.
Yeah.
We may meet this one later.
Yeah.
All I know is you grew like 1.5 feet in a year. That's all I know.
They do that at that age. Mine are 14 and 12, and they're like weeds.
Yeah.
Except you can't spray them with Roundup much.
So, why BMX?
I do other sports, like school sports.
Okay. Such as?
Like, I did football and basketball. So, I did football. For school, I did football first quarter, and then basketball second quarter. And then now I'm doing BMX and scooters.
Let me ask you this. That's a good thing that we always encourage the kids to do. I mean, be a kid. Do as many sports as you can. Obviously, you're going to have your favorites, and you're going to spend more time with that. But, do it. Does basketball and football, the drills, the exercise, the muscles you use, does that help you in BMX?
I mean, technically, yes, because you're using your legs a lot.
Sure.
So, I guess you can say it does, because, I guess you use your legs in BMX and football and basketball.
Well, I think you probably have to use your upper body, too, I would imagine, as well. Right, Coach?
Most definitely. Yeah. You definitely, all the drills work for everything. Actually, Carson's really talented on razor scooters also.
Oh, cool.
So, does pretty good, man. Whatever he's doing, it's working for him.
Now, is there like a where would one compete and or practice on a scooter level?
Well, actually, there's a couple of concrete parks in town.
Okay.
But there also is a wood park that is privately owned. That's 17th, called Premises Park.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can scooter and BMX there. I do summer camps out of there also.
Is there one concrete park? I know there's one down. It's kind of not downtown, but near downtown.
22nd in the park, 22nd and 6th.
Wasn't there another one like further north of downtown, like off of near like Mainstone-ish area that it was kind of like a building and they turned it into a concrete?
That was a wood park.
It was a wood park. Okay.
Yeah, actually, me and my buddy opened that park many years ago when we were, 20 years ago or something like that. And Yeah, we ran it
Yeah, we don't talk about
unsuccessfully.
NHL.
Yeah,
it was a good adventure.
Yeah, I was just finishing college when you opened that, so I remember that pretty well, which is why I probably remember it. Oh yeah, it was right around here now. Okay.
It's rad when people bring stuff up like that,
Yeah.
because it's I've done a lot of things over the years, and people are like, "Oh man, do you remember this?" And I was like, "Oh, we opened that." So, it's cool.
All right. So I have a question for all you guys. What is your I know your BMX career is very young. I get that. But what is your best memory, your best experience so far in BMX?
Going to Worlds in 2017 in South Carolina.
Sweet.
All right. How'd you do?
I got to quarters.
Hey. It's
Nothing
better.
wrong with that.
You weren't. I know they say if you're not first, you're last, but you weren't last. That's all that matters,
great.
right? Okay.
And you had fun.
It gets you to that trophy. It's one step closer. So, all right.
What about you, Hollywood?
Hollywood. Nice.
Did I get you with that one?
Sorry.
Winning races over and over again to compete in a higher level.
Okay, so let me ask you this. When you race and you win, is it like other sports where you can like go into 7-Eleven or QT and you see somebody you beat and you're like, yeah.
What's up?
What's up, you know? You like talk a little trash and a little smack?
Maybe sometimes.
Oh, boy.
It kind of flies in the face of everything that we heard earlier about how it's a big family and everything like that, but I get it. A little jab. I got you.
That's cool. What's your coolest BMX memory?
I have two. One was when I first started. I remember my dad rode the track with me, videoing me, and I remember the video, and I had so much fun riding.
Sure.
With
That's
my dad,
awesome.
'cause he would race me down the second straight, and we would have I had a lot of fun doing that. And then I have another memory of when I was doing sprints with Corbin and just seeing how I would start up right next to him and then he would be gone in 2 seconds. And I like noticed like, wow, I can at least stay 100 yards.
No, that's cool. That would be like playing one-on-one with LeBron James or something, you know. No, that's great. And Corbin's a great guy, so that's got to be a really, really good memory.
All right.
All right, Hotshot.
All right.
My most favorite memory was in Colorado one year for Mile High. I just turned 10 or 11, and I got first the first day. So I did like 2 or 3 local races and then that big race, because I didn't do any big races after I turned 11. So that was my first big race. And then I got first the first day, and then the second day I got third.
Nothing wrong with that. Let me kind of follow up with that and help me out here. Colorado, high altitude. Okay, I know that I played football and basketball up in Flagstaff, and my lungs were just on fire. Just because of the thin air. Does it have an effect on BMX racing? You know, when you're in the higher altitude, when you're a lower altitude athlete?
Yeah, when I was in Salt Lake City, actually, when I got that.
The check or the trophy?
The check.
All right.
Dylan, I don't know if he's... Dylan Patterson, I don't know if he's going to be getting interviewed or whatever.
Everyone gets interviewed.
We're going to put Stormy on.
Even the parents that don't want to be interviewed. We're going to bring them up here anyways, so just get ready.
But he got a check as well, and actually the first day I was there, I came off the track quite a few times. Like
gasping for air?
Yeah.
So it does. Okay, so it does affect him. That's an interesting point.
To me, the first day I actually get affected quite a bit.
Yeah,
sure.
I don't know exactly about the other riders, but I know for a fact, for me, I get off the track after high altitude and trying to survive.
It's a different feeling. I know.
Yeah.
I know. No,
well, plus you're going in a sprint pace. There's no time off during a race. You're playing. You're playing baseball. You're just out there and you're kind of hanging out and everything. But this is. You know, it's a quarter
No,
mile
it's
and a
good
cloud of
answer.
dust. So
I always wondered that because I know how it affected me in my sports, and you know, and that makes sense because you're pedaling as fast as you can, you know, for the whole, you know, however long the lap or however long the race takes. So that's great.
I have a question for these guys here, because I know that we have like 37 more people to interview. So
That's right.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make sure everyone gets their opportunity here.
I don't want the big kids beating me up.
I know. Are you? I know. I'm sure there's equipment regulations and certain things have to be worn and certain things have to be worn a certain way. Are you allowed to wear action cameras like on a helmet or something like that? And if so, you're allowed to. And if so, how many of the competitors usually do during a race?
There's not that many people that do it, but sometimes like every other day maybe there's like 1 or 2 kids wearing them.
And do you find that if you wear an action camera and you can watch the footage later, can you use that to see what you may have been able to do better in the next race by watching what was on the camera?
Kind of like film watching yourself play football or basketball.
Well, usually what happens is the parents video, but I very rarely, but sometimes I'll see people with GoPros on either the side or the top of their helmet to see what they're doing. But normally I see dads or mothers videoing them so that you can get their parents, I should say, get the whole screen so I can see exactly what they're doing.
The only reason I say that is because I imagine you can only sit in one place. You can't be running around and filming and everything. So there may be certain corners you can't catch, something like that. Or you may be able to get some really good shots on the takeoff, but on the landing. So that way you can see like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe next time in the next race, you're in a time trial or something like that. But in the quarters or something like that, you know exactly where you need to hit that jump the next time around by watching that footage. So I know you're waiting to talk. I'm killing all your time right now.
That was okay.
No, we're gonna go. You want to talk?
No, it's okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go funny questions so we can kind of keep the flow of the show going. Okay, I'll start first. Ghost or pirate? Which would you rather be?
Ghost or pirate?
I'd actually rather be a food so I can see what's inside a human body.
That's pretty cool. All right, he went on his own.
Yeah, ghost, you can go through anything.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
What about you, big guy?
Ghost
or a pirate?
Ghost.
Why?
Because I can mess with people.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. It's a solid answer.
Ghost, because I can normally freak people out, and plus pirates are not. There's barely. I don't even think there's pirates around anymore.
Well, they can freak people out too.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
No, but my old babysitter did.
But your old mic drop moments here on 5
I know. You have these ghost or pirate.
I'd say pirate because if I say ghost, my mom's gonna kill me.
Well, she'll be on later in the show.
Does she not like ghosts? Is that a problem or?
She's in love with pirates.
Oh, I got you. Well, then
you
she
should have a cool bird. You got the hat going on.
I know. You're usually an amputee. It all works out. No, because I'll have to run this by you because I've got this great idea and I want to try and put it in place. I want your opinion on this, okay? So, parents, you'll know what a GPS is, or a navigation system for your car. And oftentimes they'll talk to you. So you're driving and it says, in 50 feet, make a right on whatever street. I want that voice to be a pirate because I think there'd be nothing funnier than, "Arg, matey, in 50 feet, hang a right on your starboard side." Because that would be fantastic. And then if you miss a turn, like if you don't follow its instructions, it's calling you a scurvy dog or something like that. Make your next U-turn, you blubber and bar. So just something funny like that. So whoever's techie out there who wants to come up with a pirate GPS, you know where to find me.
That's right.
So I need to ask my funny question here. So, all right. Okay. Okay. You don't have to rat your parents out, but if you want to,
it's cool.
It's okay. I know that in some of the more extreme sports and the X Games sports and some of these sports, a lot of the sponsors are energy drinks, and/or like energy bars or something like that. Are you guys allowed to have energy drinks?
No.
No. No. Anyone?
Well, we're not allowed to have energy drinks, but what does help me sometimes, and if I can get one, I'll normally drink a soda, and that'll sometimes help. I mean, it doesn't work
Performance
every time.
enhancing soda. I got it. Okay.
But
I got you.
If I get a little soda, I get a little boost in the gate. So.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
No, I don't drink any energy drinks or energy bars really.
All right. What about you, Hollywood?
I
He's like, I have 6 Red Bulls a day. You don't even know.
usually have like a protein shake or.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Let me ask you this. This isn't a funny question, but I want you guys to know this, and I want the parents to know this. This is a medical fact, okay? It's been proven over again.
Oh, yeah.
The best thing to drink when you have sore muscles, I don't care if you're a BMX rider, a football player, a basketball player, a wrestler, whatever, the best thing to drink after your sport is chocolate milk, because there's something in the cocoa bean that rejuvenates tired muscles, and it's a fact. I mean, I'm not, yeah, but chocolate milk and pickle juice, that's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer if you're pregnant. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, but you shouldn't be competing. We don't endorse pregnancy and competing, okay? I'm just going to throw that out there.
Pickle juice either.
Yeah, I will endorse pickle juice. I will drink that straight from the bottle.
That's right.
So we want to give you the opportunity to say hello to anyone you want to watching at home.
Anybody in America, whether they're here or somewhere else. If you got grandma and grandpa in another town.
Or in New Zealand. Yeah. Big in New Zealand. So if you know anyone there. Or the Netherlands.
I just want to say hi to Ricky Bobby if he's here.
Ricky Bobby?
Bobby, all right.
Is he going first or last? Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
I don't know, to my mom and dad for taking me to all my BMX races.
That's a good
It's a
start.
good call. It's a good call.
Probably my dad, because he helps me all the time, and I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my dad. So
Right on.
I'm gonna say my dad because, well, he's my father.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
I mean, I do have some harsh times everywhere, and not everywhere, but every now and then I have some harsh times. But
Hey, Dad's the best one to teach you about life,
yeah,
right?
So.
All right.
I tell you, I've got two kids just right around your age. They're 12 and 14, and they're like my best friends. So, seriously, the best thing you can do is be a part of your kids and their sporting careers and everything like that, because it's something that I'm sure you guys will never forget.
I'd say my mom and my friend in Phoenix who so like about 2 years ago, I think, in Havasu, I was about to get first, and then in second round I crashed in the turn, and then he ran me over.
Oh.
So.
And he's getting a shout out.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wouldn't have to be a pirate, would he?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, because we're always neck and neck around the track, and most of the time, the only time I crash is with him. So, like, yeah, him and my mom, I guess.
Right on.
All right. There you go.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you all so much for coming on.
You at the track. Don't run us over.
Yes, please don't.
You guys
I'll
did
be on
awesome.
I'll be on a balance bike. Pretty excited about that. Thank you guys so much. If you want to go ahead and tag in the next group of BMX people, and I'm sure there's probably some more sponsors to go over.
We love our sponsors, because without them, obviously, we wouldn't have a show. And that reminds me, if you do want to be a sponsor, if you have a locally owned business, we want to keep the money in town. You don't see us with sponsors like Applebee's and corporations and stuff like that. We want to support local businesses just like we support local athletes. And we want to make 520 Sports Talk. We want to make Tucson and the surrounding areas first. So Catalina Auto Recycling. I was actually there today. A part that I need for my car came in, and I went down there to check it out. Why buy new when used will do? And if you think about it, all cars run on used parts. So if you want to save a boatload of money, Catalina Auto Recycling, they're on Sindrich, which is a continuation of Irvington Road past the Tucson Electric Power building off of Palo Verde. Just keep following. It's going to curve a couple of times, and you'll pop out. You'll see the orange sign, Catalina Auto Recycling. You can go to their website, CatalinaAutoRecycling.com, to take a look at their inventory of parts. Tucson, Arizona lending specialist. Contact Mo, the mortgage lady, at 520-510-6698. for the lowest rates in town. She's going to beat the Novas, the SunStreets, all those big companies. If you're going to buy a $150,000, $200 house, saving thousands of dollars on your mortgage with a 0.5% or 1% lower is definitely the way to go. I want to thank Mo also because during the school year, she does the calligraphy for our players of the week in the different sports that we cover for high school.
I like that you transition into this next one because after you buy your house, what do you need to do? You need to get homeowners insurance.
That's right, and that's Jim Miller, and actually he's right up here in Continental Ranch area. Right now he's at Wade and Silver Bell, but in July, just in a week or so, he's going to move up the road to Coach Line and Silver Bell. Be watching for him. He'll be between the home plate and the Pima Federal Credit Union building. He is your one-stop shop for life, auto, home, renters, and bank insurance. Look for his red VW. If you can't find his, if you can't see him from the street, look for that red VW. You'll see it, and go bug him for a quote. Toller Trophy, 2 convenient locations. The original location, they started making trophies when God was a kid on 6th Street and 6th Avenue. Also at the 5700 block of East 22nd. Tucson's original trophy and award center. So whether you want to have a BMX trophy, you want to give somebody a certificate, you need a door, you need your name on your door at your office, Toller Trophy can definitely.
Can he do a large check?
I'm not sure. I think he probably could do a large check.
All right.
TollerTrophy.com. And First Heritage Realty, one of Sean and I's favorite ladies, the A to B team with Brittany Palma. We're going to get Brittany and her fitness, bodybuilding, jiu-jitsu, pole athletes on the show real quick. It's just with that many different competitions, it's kind of hard to nail down one date. We're working on it right now. Brittany just got back from the Far East. Thank you, Brittany. Welcome back. If you're looking for a house, condo, townhouse, even land, give her a call, 520-270-7958. Remember, move the healthy way.
Do we have more? Or we're gonna?
We got one more group besides this one, so let's
Oh,
save the other
okay.
one for last.
All right.
Ladies, all right, we got the girls up here. How you doing? Good. All right.
So we're gonna have you introduce yourselves. First things first. So we'll start to Bill's right over here. Just go ahead and give us your name, your age, and your involvement in BMX.
And where you go to school?
Ironwood Elementary.
Go Coyotes. My youngest just finished in 6th grade at Ironwood, so go Coyotes. Mr.
So,
Johnson, if you're watching, what's up?
That's right. Nice. And what you said? How old were you?
8.
8. Okay. And what got you into BMX?
My brother used to do it, and I saw him.
You saw how fun he was, how much fun he was having, how cool he was.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi, my name is Krista Luna, and I'm 13, and I started BMX because of my mom and dad. It was they've been doing it for a long time, so I was just like, oh, I should give it a try.
So it kind of runs in the family?
Yeah.
That's great.
Hi, I'm JC Eccles. I go to Marana High School. I've been racing for about 6 years, and my dad used to race when he was little.
Cool.
Sure, why not? In case people join later.
That's right.
So.
Well, I'm Delaney Vaughn. I started racing because my parents owned the track, and so I was there. So I was like, well, let's try it out. And I'm 18, and yeah.
Wow, she was 17 in the first group, so she must have.
She had a birthday. She had a birthday in the last 24 minutes. So.
I raced 17, 20 women, so whenever someone asks me my name, I always just think like 17 because I raced 17.
Sure. I was pretty sharp on that, wasn't I? All right.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn Eccles. It's my sister. And so I also started racing because my dad used to race when he was younger, and so we just kind of all started doing it as a family.
Oh, I got some questions for you, too.
Competition questions.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. So let's just keep it right here. Sister.
Who's better?
Who's better? Yeah.
Well, probably her now because I'm kind of retired.
Well, this has got less than... No.
I'm 19.
And you retired at 19. Well, I got to get on that program.
Seriously, what am I doing still working in my 40s? Yeah.
I'm 19 and retired. So when you guys did race against each other, obviously being sisters, there's a little bit of a rivalry, sister and sister, brother and brother, even brother and sister. And obviously you want to be able to talk smack at the dinner table, and stuff. So What do you think? You can each answer this question. What's your most fondest memory of maybe the most competitive race that you guys ever went head to head on?
Well, we never did race because she was older.
Okay.
And in the age groups, it didn't match up. So we never.
Well, I fell flat on my face on.
Well, no, we're gonna change this around because we're going to force them to answer this question here. So, in a non-competition sense, most fond memory racing against each other. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun because we're girls, so it's always fun to compete with our brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we have two other brothers.
Well, we had the other show the other night with the Tucson BMX crowd. We had the girls up here, and they obviously and that was a good point they made. They want other girls to join. I mean, this is still predominantly boys' sport, but it's nice when the girls kick the boys' ass. I mean, it's just how it is, you know. And
that's pronounced butt for everyone watching at home, right there. So.
I have a memory for them.
Okay.
They have like a gate at their house, and Jocelyn was in the gate, and JC was supposed to drop the gate, but she didn't pull the thing, so Jocelyn just flipped over it.
Oh, jeez.
Did we get that on film? I mean, can we use
that on video?
Or anything?
Get it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so we can't leave these ladies out. We gotta ask them some hard-hitting questions.
Hard-hitting questions. Okay. What is your best time at the sports park track?
Probably like I don't go out there very often, but when I do,
You an East Sider?
A what?
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
You're from Phoenix.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're up in the valley. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I do go out there, kind of like every time I go out there is kind of fun. So
do you race at the Chandler track, or
yeah.
okay? How would you compare that track to Sports Park?
The sports park track is so much better, and thank you for asking.
Yeah. It
Let's
really
play the
is.
politically correct role.
It's.
I'm just talking truth. Yeah.
It's a longer track than Chandler, so you kind of have to be strong throughout the entire track.
That makes sense.
But Chandler, they're both really nice tracks. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Good answer. What about you, hon?
My favorite memory about the track is whenever Will taught me how to jump the jumps up there.
Is that cool to get air?
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask you guys, you're all school age. You're going to be, what, junior college, something like you already are? Okay, so you still go to school, though. How is you go to Marana, right? This is a perfect question for you. How do the other athletes, the football players, the Trenton Bourguets, I mean, how do they view you as a BMX athlete?
Well, I'm a freshman going into this year, so I haven't been there. But
okay, so what about Marana Middle School? I mean, do they have football?
But everyone kind of knew because it's a small school.
Sure.
So everyone knew that I raced. It was.
Or are you getting the street cred when you're walking down the hall or something? Or
not really.
Is it not something you don't really flaunt it?
Well, you're going to get the credit
everyone
now
you
because
know.
You're on 5 Kilo Sports Talk.
Yeah,
and you're going to be on here every month.
I mean, I grew up playing hockey. I didn't wear my hockey jersey. I was like, I'm not going to advertise.
That's right.
It's just you know that you can take someone and you're good.
Exactly.
So it's fine. So I did have a question. So, what's the tallest jump that you've ever had to jump out? In a race, the tallest. From like, I don't want to call it sea level, but let's just call it from ground level to the height of the jump. What's the tallest jump?
I don't know measurements, but when we go to Supercross races and stuff, it is an 8-meter hill, so it's a very large hill.
So 24 feet, give or take.
The jumps are typically very large after that. That's really all I do know. So, yeah.
So 24 meters, I mean, we're talking up, correct?
It's really high. So.
Or 8 meter. Sorry, not 24 meter. That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
That'd be
a great pedal.
72 feet here. It's like 7 stories.
I don't really know measurements, but
it's big.
It's big.
There we go. Let me ask you this boy-girl type thing, okay? Tell me an experience that you had when you beat a guy, and what was the conversation at the finish line after the race?
Yeah, they usually don't stay for afterwards.
They kind of tuck their tail and run.
Even though you really want them to, you're like, hey, let's talk about that race. Come back over here.
Because the guys are going like, you just got beat by a girl. Anybody else?
When I usually beat guys all the time,
Nice.
not to brag, but they would always, at the finish line, they'd be like, man, I almost got you, and they would start laughing, but then some of them would literally just ride off, and I'd be waiting there for them after I, like, finish and be waiting for them.
You wanted to talk some smack, didn't you?
No, I just wanted to say good job, and then they just ride off. They look at me and just ride off, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
What about you, Delaney?
I mean, they're typically pretty nice. Like the kids that I race, like the boys I race, I've grown up like my whole life with them. So, yeah. I mean, they do beat me a lot too. So.
Are you beating the boy?
Say yes.
He didn't say in BMX, just in general.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Was it fun?
Yes.
All right, that's all we need. That's all.
All right, we want. I know there's one more group, right? We have after this one more group.
That's fine.
We could do one more group. Little, how many do we have left?
I got more sponsors, so
7. That'd be good for one more group then. So, okay, so we will have time for the fun questions, and then the shout out, and then we'll move on to our last group here. So, I get to go first.
I went first last time.
Okay. Well, the crowd here is mostly old enough to answer this question. So I know you got the restaurant question here, so I'm going to kind of tie this in. It's not the same one. So I'm trying to think of the ones that Liam gave me, but we're going to go with favorite gas station food and beverage.
Come on, your kids, we know you eat that
and
stuff.
Beverage.
Those like for real drinks, like the milkshakes, those are really good.
Okay.
And Quick Trip 50-cent cones, those are also really good.
See, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
like
doubt.
those.
Right there.
Nice answer.
That's good. And I didn't even know about the 50-cent cones, so I guess I know where I'm going now afterwards. So.
Nice.
If there's anyone from Quick Trip that wants to go ahead and comment on this, let us know if 50-cent cones are a thing all the time. Just let us know. Comment on the post.
I would have to say Arizona tea and
Okay.
like watermelon sour patch.
Okay.
Watermelon Sour Patch. Fun fact, Arizona iced tea, not from Arizona.
That's right.
I don't know.
You never go to the gas station and get food. Okay.
I get random stuff.
Well, that's an answer.
Give us a random
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, Carmelo.
Okay.
And I don't know, just like lemonade or something.
There you go.
I'm going to 100% agree with Delaney right now. Those things are...
They rock, huh?
Those are so good.
She's broken.
I went to Utah, and they're like, you need to try these. And I'm like, I feel like we have these in Arizona, but I'm not sure. And then I tried them, I'm like, yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
All right. Favorite gas station food and drink?
My favorite gas station is Circle K.
So what do you get to drink and eat?
I usually get peach tea, and to eat, I get Mexican candy.
Good call.
Candy,
Good call.
all right.
Good call.
Nice
all right,
call.
Bill, your final question.
Okay. This is a situational question. So does everybody know what I mean when I say think outside the box? Don't give me the don't give me the obvious answer, okay?
You said Chuck Norris. You can think outside the box. You're good.
All
Okay.
right. You ever gone yard sailing with your mom or dad or anything like that? Okay. Most kids don't like it because, if you're not practicing BMX on a Saturday, what are you doing? You're sleeping in till 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Your mom gets you up at 5 o'clock because everybody knows when you go yard sailing, you got to get there early to get the best stuff, right? Obviously, she's going to make you a nice breakfast. She's a mom, okay? So you get in the car, you're driving to the yard sale. You're probably like this so your friends don't see you going to the yard sale. She pulls up in front of a house. You're going to stay in the car. You're going to play on your phone or your iPad or something like that. Out of the corner of your eye, you see your mom walk up to the ugliest vase in the world. Ugly, just hideous. And you're just like, No, Mom, please, no. Guess what? She buys it. Guess who gets to carry it home on the way? Because she's driving. Right? So you're just like really with your iPad or your phone. You don't want your friend seeing you carrying this ugly vase. She pulls into the driveway. She gets out. You get out, but you trip. The vase hits the concrete driveway and breaks. Your first reaction is you look at your mom. Your eyes are like deer in the headlights, okay? When you turn around, there's a genie standing there. Now, this isn't a regular genie. This is a Walmart genie, okay? You only get 2 wishes, all right? The third wish you got to give to somebody else. So what would be your 2 wishes, and who would you give that third wish to? And we'll start with you.
I have no clue.
All right, we'll come back to you.
I would probably wish for a lot of money.
Sure.
And then the second wish, I'd probably wish to be young again because I don't want to grow up. And then
Okay, not that you're old now. But
yeah, I know. I just don't want to grow like in general. I just want to be a kid.
That's great.
And then I'd give my other wish to my mom.
Because you broke her vase.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll do it. Okay. So, my first wish, I like the money one. That's a good one.
Money's always good.
Second wish, just for my family to have good health, you know.
Sure.
And then the third wish, I'd give it to my dad because he makes a pretty smart decision. So, you know, he had to have a good wish.
And your mom's sitting there looking at the broken vase.
Yeah,
All right.
I think she'll get over it.
It's ugly. Why wouldn't she?
I mean, it was from a yard sale. It probably didn't cost much, so.
Well, if this vase is ugly, I'd probably wish for my mom to get a cuter vase.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I really agree with these two with the money. I mean, that's a good one.
Hey, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, my dad's got to get something out of this situation,
Sure.
so I'd probably give it to my dad.
He gets the other wish.
That's right.
Yeah, I would probably do money too. And then, I don't know what my other wish would be.
A new BMX bike or a big check like that?
Well, that goes along with the money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to New York.
Go to New York.
Okay, there you
And
go.
who would you give your third wish to?
Probably my dad.
Okay, cool. All right, so.
He gets 2 wishes.
And mom's still out of luck with the broken vase.
I would probably wish for me and my friend way over there on the last table to have the bestest base.
Okay.
Because we're always trying to make a base by ourselves.
There you go.
Okay.
Then my second wish would probably be so me and my brother stop fighting and always agree.
That's a good wish. All right. Who would you give that third wish away to?
My mother.
Because you broke her vase?
Yeah.
There you go.
I have not. I've only been around for this question a couple times, and I know you didn't ask, but I'm going to go ahead and answer the question anyways. I wanted an unlimited amount of those visors.
Yes. That is like uber cool.
I'm using one of my wishes to have as many of those visors as I can possibly have. That's
right. You're the man, dude. All right, so this is the time where we told you you can shout out to anybody, whether they're here in the room, or they're in Tucson, or anywhere in the nation. Here's your chance to say hi to whoever you want to.
Hi, Lainey.
Hi, Grandma. I know she's watching.
You know what? You're the first one that says grandma. That's great. You know, if you're like Hispanic like me and you don't say nana or something like that, you get this chancla, which is a flip-flop, zinging right by your head. And Nana's got a better arm than Tom Brady, I'm telling you. She'll just whip that thing right down the hall, smack you in the head.
Hi to my grandma and papa.
There you go.
Say hi to my dad. He's driving on the road right now, so I know he's listening.
Cool. Thanks for watching, listening. Don't crash.
I would also say my grandparents, just because they come out to every single local track ever since we started racing
Isn't
for
that
6
cool,
years.
though, to see
Yeah.
Grandma and Grandpa in the stands?
Yeah, they're always supporting. So.
Right on.
Snack bag every time.
Yep, always out of the snacks. Oh yeah, they also not only every single local race, but they also travel out of town. Also.
Oh,
for
nice.
races
Grandma and
yeah.
Grandpa, thank you. I mean,
I do have one. I have a quick question, and anyone can answer this. But when you grow up and you're playing soccer or you're playing baseball or something like that, little league, you always have orange slices after a game or something like that. Is that a thing in BMX, or orange slices a thing? Can we bring that back, please, parents? Can we bring back the orange slices? It's Wendy's chili.
Frosties. Hey, it's got the chocolate in it, right?
What's that?
I said the Wendy's Frosties are 50 cents right now.
She knows all the good deals, doesn't she?
It's everything for 50 cents. We're going to go to Delaney.
We're going to hang out with Delaney and her friends. And
Am I the only person that dips fries in the Frosty? Because that, for me, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, all right. Well, thank you all so much. We have one more group.
You guys did a great job.
I know there are
Thank you very
7
much.
people in the next group,
Thank you.
so we're going to have 4 right here, 1 sitting here, and then 2 people standing behind the person who's going to be sitting in the last group.
All right.
There's a couple more sponsors, Bill, if you want to get to the last
All
round
right.
of sponsors.
We're going to finish up with the sponsors. Oasis Air Conditioning and Heating. Like I said, make sure your units are in tip-top shape. Give my cousin David Murrieta a call, 520-648-1755. New Stitch Embroidery. We love these guys. They do our shirts. 3114 South 12th Avenue for all your silk screening embroidery. And they have a fabric laser printer. If you have cotton shirts and you don't want silk screen because after a while during the wash it cracks, they have a fabric laser printer that does laser printing on clothes. And with silk screen, you're going to pay more money for every single color. That doesn't happen with the laser printer. You could have one color, 6 colors. It's still going to be the same price. Give them a call, 520-741-1070, or go to newstitch.net, newstitch.net. And last but certainly not least, this is probably one of my favorite sponsors. It's a newer sponsor. But if you ever lived in Tucson and you have not gone to this place, you cannot call yourself a Tucsonan. Pat's Drive-In, Pat's Chili Dogs, Barrio Hollywood, Niagara and Grande, just north of St. Mary's, just south of Speedway. Best chili dogs in the world, killer fries. I mean, you get your food in like 3 seconds. Been around since God was a kid. I think 1962 they started. Most of you guys were not born or even thought of. So Pat's Drive-In, check it out. You won't be sorry. You're like, that Bill guy from 520 Sports Talk, he knows the cool places to eat. So thank you, Pat's, for your patronage.
And you need to get to the point where you can eat an entire family meal by yourself, which is 4
hot dogs, 4 chili dogs, and like 9 pounds of fries.
At that point, and I'm not trying to make any sort of comment. I use the term very affectionately, but those fries are basically what I like to call white trash potato pasta.
Yes.
Because it's just so good. You just
they're good.
Greasy and they serve it in a box and it just turns.
We're not going to talk nutritional value. We're just talking strictly taste.
No, it's a vegetable.
That's right.
So it's got to be healthy.
What's up, fellas? Hey, did we not save the best for last?
I just want to point out.
I can't hear you.
Yeah. I just want to point out that if those, I know that it's like a track uniform or something. It looks like the coolest set of pajamas I've ever seen that these kids are wearing down here at the end, and I love it. And I need to buy some for myself. So it's kind of like BMX camo, Exactly. It's like when you're on a track, no one can see you because you're wearing that. That's so right. We're gonna go around. You start wherever you want and just introduce yourself.
Your name, where you go to school, and why you got into BMX.
My name is Addison. I don't go to school anymore. I'm 33 years old. I'm the oldest kid at the track. And I got into BMX. I originally wanted to get a dirt bike, and I was completely obsessed with it for years, looking in the cycle trader every single day, and they were just too expensive, mainly.
Sure.
And my cousin Goose told me to come out and check out a BMX race. It was the Race for Life, which is a free race that's held every year, a leukemia fundraiser.
What a great thing to do. And
I checked it out, and all it took was one race. My parents said, "Do you want a dirt bike or do you want a BMX bike?" And there was no decision needed. I wanted a BMX bike.
Nice.
So that was when I was 11. 22 years ago.
I want to revisit your relative named Goose because I think there's a whole other story behind that. We're gonna move around. You know, we'll kind of move around that for now. We'll circle back to that, but yeah.
All right. My name's Lucas. Race 1720X. I go to Mountain View High School.
Nice.
And I started racing because we had a friend that got me out there for the Olympic Day, which is a free day of racing once a year. And that right when I raced, knew I loved it.
Sweet.
My name's Jadison, and my mom signed me up for BMX, and I go to Craycroft Elementary School.
How long you been racing?
For 3 years.
Sweet.
And my home track's Sports Park BMX.
Attaboy.
There you go.
Sports Park BMX. Good plug there.
Mine is the same because we're twins.
Well, I would imagine.
Do you always wear the same clothing? Yeah.
So when you're camouflage, your parents can't see either of you?
It's okay.
That's all
it's
right,
okay.
buddy.
Hi, I'm Cameron. I go to Red Rock Elementary, and my dad, he used to race when he was little, like 16, teenager, whatever, and we used to do, ride quads and stuff.
Right on.
And then we just were like, hey, let's just try out BMX. So we just went out on the track and rode BMX.
Sweet.
Hi, I'm Travis, 14 years old, go to Mountain View High School, and I started racing when about 8 years ago. Well, no, not 8 years ago, when I was 8, and loved it ever since.
All right.
My name's Josh. I race the 1720 intermediate class.
What got you into it?
So I've always wanted to race BMX because you guys interviewed him yesterday, I think it was, Kyle Jensen.
Yeah.
I grew up with him.
Sweet.
And he always went. And
yeah, he's pretty good from what I understand.
He's fast.
And we're gonna come out to the track. We're gonna watch you guys. We're not gonna come to our show and you never see us again. We're gonna have a partnership with Sports Park BMX Track. We're gonna come out and see you guys, get some film on you guys, put you on our Facebook page, maybe even on our website. Would that be cool? Give you a little bit of street cred here. All right. I want to know your Mountain View Mountain Lions. How do the other athletes view you when you tell a football player or a softball player that you're a BMX rider?
Well, you get the question so dirt bikes, so they think that you're already talking about they'll say bikes usually.
Right.
But they instantly see them like dirt bikes, but no, I tell them it's BMX, and I usually show them a video, and they're like, wow, that's really impressive and cool.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy cool.
Mm-hmm.
The other mountain lion.
No clue. I'm going to be a freshman this year.
Okay, all right, cool. Well, you got a lot of time to sit there and say, that's right, I'm a BMX guy, and we were on 520 Sports Talk.
Exactly.
What do you do?
If there's any local races or races that you guys are traveling to and you want to, send pictures and a quick write-up, and the parents, you want to write up something quickly, hey, this person that's been on the show plays first, second, third, whatever, send that to us so we can have, we can put it up on the website and everything.
We want to promote your sport. Until the other night when we did the East Side track, I had no clue how popular this is and how cool it was that the whole family gets involved. I'm totally impressed, and we definitely want to continue to cover your sport, and we're going to try to make you as popular as any other athlete in town. How's that?
So I know that we're running super, super late, and I know we're going to have you guys on the show once a month, so you're going to get your time, on upcoming shows. So don't think, we're, if it's, not 20 minutes on the show like everyone else.
Right now,
yeah.
just kick you off.
Yeah. But let me ask you, have you ever, I'm assuming everyone here, and, because we only bring on the best, everyone here has won a race at one point, correct?
Everybody's
right?
won one?
Everyone's won a race at one point. Now, has anyone showboated at the end of a race? And if so, what's your go-to showboat move?
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
Let's do that.
Well, I did have a big race that I was really proud of. It was Winter Nationals in Phoenix. And that was the one race when I was like 11 or 12 years old. I always dreamed of winning it. And I don't even remember how long ago it was, 3 or 4 years ago. I got first place. It was in intermediate class then. But that race meant so much to me that I had to take a picture holding the trophy over my head.
Sweet.
But I tried not to rub it in anyone's face. I mean, they're all guys that I'm friends with off the track.
It sounds like you didn't do too well. I know you tried, but if you took the picture,
nothing wrong with taking.
Well, I wasn't like on the podium with them, like throwing it up there. So, but I congratulate all the guys that I race with after I'm done racing, and tell everyone they did a good job. And we're always hoping that no one crashes out there.
Yeah,
sure.
Especially at my age.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Tell
me about it. Yeah,
I'd love to trade places.
So do you guys have a go-to like showboat move, like final jump sort of thing that you're gonna style, little profiling?
Fist in the air or something. What about you guys? What did you do when you won?
Just cross the line and finish.
I didn't do nothing, but when I won grand, I was happy.
Well, I bet.
Yeah.
And you should be. What about you?
I only won one national. It's at Las Vegas, and I won a first place and second place, and I earned a lot of trophies there.
I mean, how humble is that? I only won one race. It was a national.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All right. So I want to talk to you a little bit about school. I didn't talk to the other groups about it, okay? And this is kind of we know you're BMX guys. We know that and you don't have to participate. We know it's not like a school sport where you have to get good grades to stay eligible or you can't dress out or something like that. But that doesn't mean that school is any less important, okay? At some time or another, even if you're that 78-year-old lady, I mean, you're going to have to hang up the BMX thing once and for all. So, and you're going to have to go out in the world and get, what we would consider, I guess, a normal job. But school is important, okay? I mean, middle school will teach you how to prepare for high school. High school prepares you for college. College prepares you for life, okay? Elementary school, same thing, okay? So be a kid, but also be responsible. Listen to your parents, listen to your coaches, listen to your teachers, your administrators. I mean, getting good grades is not, like to say, so you can race, you may not have an eligibility issue with school, but I'm sure if you're getting a bunch of bad grades, they may or may not let you race. I mean, and that's a good, that's their job as parents. So what I want to know from you is what's your best subject in school? And we're not even going to say the worst because we don't go that way. What's the subject that you maybe need a little bit of help on, on maybe this coming up next school year? We'll start with whoever's in school over here.
Probably my favorite subject would probably be PE, and then
PE's a good favorite subject.
and then probably I need help in probably all the subjects.
Okay, all right. Well, at least you're aware of it.
Yeah, same with me. I like PE because you
helps you with BMX, right?
Yeah, and I probably need help in science because you don't really get to talk in that class because this is a silent class.
What kind of science? I mean, biology or chemistry or general
I
science?
think it's sort of general science, right?
You're cutting frogs
science.
open or making smoke bombs or something like that?
No,
okay.
it's not that cool.
All right.
My favorite subject is PE, and art is I need help.
You need help in art? Yeah, me too, buddy. Right here.
You don't have to answer. We know the answer is calculus is your favorite subject. What? What?
What's your favorite subject, bud?
I don't know what that is.
What's your favorite thing in school to do, and what do you learn the best at?
My favorite thing at school to do is soccer because you can make goals and it's fun.
PE.
What's the one subject that you maybe need a little help on?
Art.
Art? Okay.
Art.
My favorite subject, definitely PE.
All right. Seems to be across the board PE, all right?
Well, probably the subject you have would probably definitely English.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Now listen, when you're in school, whether you're elementary, middle school, high school, college, and your parents will agree with this, those are the best years of your life. One, you're on your parents' dime. You have responsibility, but you don't have the responsibility of an adult, okay? So is my kind of get on my soapbox type of thing. Enjoy these years, because once you get out of high school, or excuse me, once you get out of college, life goes downhill real quick. You got to get a job. You're going to have a family. You're going to be in the same boat your parents are in. Not that it's not fun, but it's a lot more fun being a kid. So enjoy this time that you have. Do all those things that you want to do. All the things that Hey, I want to try this sport, or I want to try this. Have fun. Be a kid. At the end of the day, when you get out of college, you turn into Mr. or Mrs. Responsibility. Okay.
I had a revelation about this the other day, because as a parent, you get really excited when there's free stuff, for you and your family and everything. And I keep talking to my kids, and I'm like, come on, guys, there's going to be free food. And then I realize all food to my kids is free food. It's all free food. I pay for every stinking thing that they do. It's all free food. So I'm like, hey, guys, we're going to go get a free pizza. They're like, what are you talking about? We've never paid for anything. I'm like,
Never thought about that. That's
all
true.
food is free food until you're a certain age. And when you get to college, it gets a little bit more, when you kind of have to pay for some things on your own. So I get it. But that was just a real big thing that, I get no credit for thinking that.
In college, I was like the peanut butter and jelly sandwich king of the world. I didn't have ramen back then.
Come on. Top ramen had to have been a thing, because we weren't supposed to have a hot plate, but we would make ramen in the dorm room. We only burned it down twice.
Sure.
Just twice.
Funny question?
Yes, it is time to wrap things up. So you guys get
first?
a funny question. It's all you.
Okay. Funny question time. If you could be any superhero, who would you be? We'll start with you.
If I could be any superhero, probably would be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's cool. Can't go wrong with that. What about you?
If I would be one, it's a hard question. I don't really think about
That's why we get the big money here on 520 Sports Talk.
Thanos.
Okay.
Thanos, yeah.
All right. That's cool.
All right.
Well, there's some superheroes like Corbin Sherraw. He is a good.
What? Oh man, there you go.
Can't go wrong with that answer.
I would be Batman.
Batman's cool. Let me ask you a question about Batman. I never understood this. Why the cape? He can't fly. And when Superman's got a cape, he flies, right? Well, why has he got the cape? What's up? You don't know? Okay.
I'll be Batman too.
Batman too? Okay. All right.
I'd want to be Thor.
Thor's a good one, yeah.
Wait, skinny Thor or fat Thor?
Fat Thor.
Fat Thor, okay.
Okay, all right. He still gets the chicks,
I mean, I would probably say, isn't Superman the best all around?
There you go, right there.
Some people would think I'd say the Flash because my nickname is Addison Flash, out at the track, but I'd say Superman.
Superman.
What about you, Bill?
I'm a Superman guy. What can he do? He can fly. He can burn you with his eyes. He's strong. What's not to like? Nice hair. Nice hair.
He's
Yeah,
got nice hair.
The visor kid. I love this kid.
There's one in every show. I love it. It's just great.
Did everybody, and not even the people at the table, but did everybody here have fun?
That's the important thing.
All right. That's what we like to see. And just think, the fun continues once a month.
Yeah, I know. It's great. I would be Deadpool, personally,
Okay,
yeah.
all
I'd be Deadpool. And anyone who's like under 13, you don't know who Deadpool is. Okay, I don't care if you've seen commercials. You should not be watching that. No. And I won't explain it because because he's Deadpool. Yeah.
What's your funny question?
My funny question. All right. Would you rather be a dragon or own a dragon? Oh, you're first. The laugh makes you first.
I'd be a lion.
Dragon, not lion.
Dragon.
Why?
Because I can fly.
There you go.
You could have the same answer.
Yeah. There's no wrong answers, by the way.
I want to own a dragon.
Sure. Why?
Well, just imagine having like a pet dragon. Why don't you walk that around the block?
You wouldn't need a car.
You
Can
fly everywhere.
can you imagine going in the Mountain View parking lot and the student section is like, move your car, my dragon's parking right here. Oh, you don't want to move your car? Just burnt car right there. Just
Yeah. And there's like your saddles, like your keys.
There you go.
You know, at first I was going to say that I'd be a dragon because you can fly, of course. But, you know, everyone would be after me, trying to capture me and put me in the circus.
So
and
true.
stuff.
So true. Dragon circus.
So I would probably just want to own a dragon because I could fly around on it. And
Sure.
if I was a dragon, then I couldn't ride BMX, and that would suck.
Yeah.
Or you could be the first dragon BMX rider. I mean.
You're onto something.
Just so you know, all dragons use balance bikes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Would you
rather be a dragon or own a dragon?
I would rather own a dragon.
Why?
Because like you can fly around and you
Sure.
can like spit fire out.
Spitfire, sure. That's a big
You
that's a
get,
big
like,
plus.
If you get like trapped and you can put it down.
There you go.
Yeah.
All
All
good
right,
answers.
pass along this way. All right.
I would want to own a dragon because, well, not much people say, hey, I own a dragon.
Exactly.
The number right now, at least in the United States, is 0
Yeah.
for people that
How
own
cool
dragons.
would that be, you know?
Yeah.
I own a dragon.
What would you name? What would you name it? Don't say Steve. Don't say Steve.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. I was being random with that. You could name your dragon Steve. It's fine.
I'll probably be a dragon. You could do what you want, pretty much.
There you go.
I agree with him. I'd probably be a dragon,
All
just
right.
to be the first dragon to race a bike.
There you go.
Right. See, I think this is the most be a dragon's answers that we've had, because most are like, oh, I'd rather own a dragon because you could just you could still fly because they would ride you'd ride on the dragon and stuff
Sure,
like
sure.
that. But yeah, that's gonna wrap everything up. I'm
Your shout out and then we'll.
Oh yeah. Anyone watching at home, go ahead and
And hopefully you told your friends about this show. It's like, hey, I'm going to be on national TV. What have you done? Come on. And you're going to be on once a month. We want all you guys. If there's any BMX riders that are not here, we obviously want them to come to the monthly shows. Parents, please. I mean, I guess it's a family thing, so if one comes, everybody comes, right?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. All right. So we'll start with you. Anybody in America, say hi to.
I got my mom at home right now. She's
Sure.
probably watching. Hey, Mom. And then my dad's probably still at work.
All right. Mom, thanks for watching.
It'd probably be Phil Swift because he invented flex tape,
There you go.
I love flex tape.
Probably my papa and grandma. They always support us in BMX.
Good answer.
Probably my grandpa, because sometimes he comes out and watch me and him race.
Isn't that cool?
I'll pick my cousins because we don't get to see them very well. They live in California.
Were they watching? Did you tell them to watch today? Okay, well, after the show, we're going to put this on the Facebook page, so you can call them and tell them to go to 520 Sports Talk on Facebook, and they can watch you.
Okay.
How cool is that?
Cool. Cool.
All right.
Probably my mom and dad. They're right there.
All right. So you kind of had to say that, right?
Shout out to Mom and Dad, my biggest sponsors. And my cousin Goose, who got me into the sport.
Oh, yeah, you got that goose question.
I just didn't know if there's a Maverick in the family as well.
No, it's
Top
Goose-
Gun humor
Goose
is the
short
best.
for Gustavo.
Oh,
Wondering what the okay.
Well, I was way off.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
That guy from Flex Tape,
That's
smoking
right.
hot wife,
That's right.
smoking hot wife in the commercial. He's saying, I'm gonna kick it over to my smoking hot wife. And it's the same guy, dressed up as a woman. Yeah.
All right, thank you guys for coming on. We really appreciate it. BMX Sports Park family, thank you for coming on. Thank you for educating us in a lot of the ins and outs and the nuances of BMX riding. We look forward to a long relationship with you guys. Obviously, not just the once a month show, but we also want to come out to the track and support you. Do a live remote from the track. Get some races on tape. Put them on the Facebook page on the website. So this is kind of going to be the start of something really, really cool for 520 Sports Talk. So really appreciate it. So we want to thank you guys for also watching. Go ahead, Sean.
We should bring back, I want to bring this back because when we first started the show, we actually had to almost dare each other to do some challenges. You know, like if a certain athlete accomplished a certain, status on their next race or a sporting event, then we in turn would have to do something. So I'll
Sean never could dunk.
I had to get dunked on
right.
by Lucas Elliott, so that was posterizing was enough. But I guess if anyone here that was on the show wins their next race, has to be their next race, I will come out there and race, or at least learn how to do this.
Let's see it.
Nice.
So I don't even need video or photographic evidence. I'll take your word for it. But I'll get out there.
Fair enough.
But oh man. All right. Well then. What's that? If for no other reason than to get me out there, I know it's usually some bulletin board material. So, all right, I will do that. It'll be a lot of fun. I may be the guy that shows up there in a long sleeve shirt and jeans, but I will do that. And I'll have to bring my GoPro because no one will ever believe that I did it. We'll put it on the Facebook page.
That's right.
But thank you all for having me, Bill. Thank you for having me, and it was really fun having all you guys. So
thank you for viewing out there. Remember. This will also be put on our 520 Sports Talk YouTube channel tomorrow for those of you, or if you know somebody that doesn't necessarily have Facebook. Also check out our other social media, Twitter at 520 Sports Talk, Instagram 520 Sports Talk. And on our Instagram page, I want action photos of these guys and the ladies racing so we can put them on our Instagram pictures. Also, we have the 520 YouTube channel, as I mentioned. So thanks a lot for coming. For Scott, Sean, Scott, Sean, the guy with two first names, Pearson Sturdivant, Bill McCullough, 520 Sports Talk, Southern Arizona Sports with a twist. It's a wrap.